Have you ever forgotten someone's name or misplaced your keys and wondered if it's just a normal part of getting older? What if those little moments were actually early clues to something more serious? With around 50 million people living with dementia globally, it's crucial to recognize the early signs of dementia before it's too late. In today's video, we're uncovering 10 early signs of dementia that often go unnoticed. By learning to identify these subtle warning signs, you can take action now to improve care and quality of life for yourself or a loved one. Stay tuned. This knowledge could make all the difference. 1. Memory loss. Memory loss is one of the first and most noticeable signs of dementia, but it's not just about the occasional forgetfulness we all experience. Sure, it's normal to forget where you put your keys or the name of someone you met a while ago, but memory issues tied to dementia are far more troublesome. People with dementia might forget entire conversations, ask the same questions over and over, or put things in strange places, like sticking their wallet in the fridge. What makes this memory loss especially concerning is that it often affects recent events or newly learned information. For example, someone might forget an appointment or instructions they just received. Over time, these memory gaps can disrupt daily routines, leading to frustration for both the individual and their family members. While it's completely normal to experience some memory changes as we get older, memory loss that interferes with everyday life is not a typical part of aging. If you or someone you know is showing these signs, it's a good idea to speak with a healthcare professional for a proper evaluation. 2. Difficulty finding words. We all have moments when we struggle to find the right word, but when this happens often enough to disrupt communication, it could be an early sign of dementia. People with dementia might stop mid-sentence, searching for simple words, or even use the wrong terms, like calling a watch a hand clock. As these language challenges progress, conversations can become frustrating or embarrassing. This may lead the individual to avoid social interactions altogether. Another common sign is forgetting the names of familiar objects or people. For instance, someone might say, "Can you pass that thing?" while pointing at something they would have named easily before. The ability to follow or contribute to conversations may also decline, as organizing thoughts into clear sentences becomes harder. These communication difficulties go beyond the occasional slip-up and point to deeper changes in the brain's ability to process language. 3. Apathy or loss of interest. Apathy, or a noticeable lack of interest in activities and social interactions, is another subtle early sign of dementia that often gets mistaken for depression. Someone experiencing apathy may lose motivation for things they once loved, like hobbies, social gatherings, or even simple daily tasks. For example, a person who used to enjoy gardening might suddenly stop caring for their plants without any clear reason. This withdrawal can also affect relationships, as they may avoid conversations, lose interest in spending time with loved ones, or show little excitement in situations that once brought them joy. Unlike the occasional tiredness or mood swing, apathy linked to dementia is persistent and doesn't depend on external factors. It happens because dementia impacts the brain areas responsible for motivation and emotional balance. Spotting and addressing this early is crucial. Staying active and engaged can help slow cognitive decline and boost overall quality of life. 4. Frequent falls. Occasional trips or stumbles happen to everyone, but frequent falls could signal something more serious, like early-stage dementia. Research suggests that people who later develop dementia often experience balance problems and falls years before noticeable cognitive symptoms appear. These falls aren't just a sign of clumsiness or aging, they're often linked to changes in the brain that affect motor skills and spatial awareness. For instance, someone might trip over flat surfaces, find stairs more challenging, or seem unsteady even in familiar settings. Such incidents can lead to injuries, making daily life and independence much harder to manage. You might also notice slower walking speeds or changes in posture, like a stooped stance, which are subtle but significant warning signs. If frequent or unexplained falls occur, it's essential to seek medical advice. Early detection can help address both physical and cognitive health, improving overall quality of life. 5. Disorientation in familiar places. Getting lost in familiar places can be an unsettling and often overlooked early sign of dementia. This isn't just about taking a wrong turn or forgetting an alternate route. It's losing the ability to navigate spaces that once felt effortless. Someone might suddenly forget how to get to their favorite cafe, a family member's home, or even back to their own house. This disorientation happens because dementia impacts the brain regions responsible for memory and spatial awareness. A person might struggle to follow landmarks or recall well-known routes, leaving them confused or anxious when trying to find their way back. In some cases, this can lead to wandering, putting them in potentially dangerous situations. The safety risks of this symptom are significant, especially if it happens frequently. If you notice someone becoming disoriented in familiar settings, it's important to consult a healthcare professional as soon as possible. Early action can make all the difference. 6. Sleep disorders. Sleep disorders like insomnia, excessive daytime sleepiness, or disrupted sleep cycles can sometimes signal the early stages of dementia. Many people with cognitive decline notice changes in their sleep habits, such as struggling to fall asleep, waking up frequently during the night, or feeling unusually tired throughout the day. Certain forms of dementia, such as Lewy body dementia, are particularly associated with unique sleep disturbances. These may include acting out dreams, sudden movements, or even talking in their sleep. Known as REM sleep behavior disorders, these signs can appear years before other dementia symptoms develop. Sleep problems do more than disrupt rest. They can impact memory, mood, and brain function, creating a vicious cycle that speeds up cognitive decline. This happens because the brain relies on quality sleep to clear out toxins and maintain its overall health. If you or someone you know is experiencing persistent sleep issues alongside other changes, it's worth discussing with a healthcare professional. 7. Physical changes. Physical changes like a stooped posture, slower movements, or trouble walking can sometimes hint at early dementia. These shifts often result from disruptions in the brain areas that control movement and coordination. You might notice someone shuffling their feet, taking shorter steps, or struggling to keep their balance, even when they don't have other obvious mobility issues. Other subtle signs to watch for include trembling hands, weaker grip strength, or difficulty with tasks that require fine motor skills, like buttoning a shirt. These changes are often dismissed as normal aging or orthopedic problems, but when combined with cognitive decline, they could point to a neurological condition. Certain types of dementia, such as Parkinson's-related or vascular dementia, are especially associated with these physical symptoms. Keeping an eye on these changes is crucial as they can increase the risk of falls and other injuries. If you notice these signs, it's a good idea to consult a healthcare professional for further evaluation. 8. Struggling with routine tasks. Struggling with routine tasks can be an early warning sign of dementia, highlighting changes in the brain's ability to process information and follow sequences. Simple, everyday activities that once felt effortless can suddenly become confusing or overwhelming. For instance, someone might forget steps while preparing a favorite meal, miss paying bills even with reminders, or struggle to follow a recipe they've known for years. You might also notice difficulties with using familiar devices like a microwave or smartphone, even though they never had trouble before. Over time, these challenges can lead to frustration, both for the individual and their loved ones, as the loss of independence becomes more noticeable. This goes far beyond occasional forgetfulness. It points to a deeper disruption in the brain's executive function, which is responsible for organizing and completing tasks. If these signs are becoming frequent, it's important to seek medical advice. Early intervention can make a real difference. 9. Loss of interest in conversations. A noticeable lack of interest in conversations or social interactions can be an early sign of dementia, often tied to changes in both cognitive and emotional functioning. Someone experiencing this might pull back from family gatherings or group discussions, choosing silence over engagement. Even with close friends or loved ones, they may seem uninterested in topics they once loved to talk about. This withdrawal often stems from difficulty processing and contributing to conversations. As dementia progresses, following the flow of dialogue, remembering details, or responding appropriately can become increasingly challenging. These struggles can lead to feelings of embarrassment, prompting the person to avoid social situations altogether. While temporary fatigue or stress can also cause social withdrawal, persistent apathy and disengagement shouldn't be ignored. If these behaviors become frequent, it's important to seek professional advice to understand the underlying cause. 10. Changes in eye movement or focus. Changes in eye movement or focus can be an unexpected early sign of dementia, particularly as cognitive decline advances. One common indicator is a fixed gaze, where someone appears to stare blankly or struggles to shift their focus between people or objects. This often ties back to reduced attention and concentration, which are hallmarks of neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's disease. Another sign to watch for is difficulty with depth perception. The person may misjudge distances, leading to frequent trips, bumps, or trouble navigating even familiar spaces. You might also notice a decrease in eye movement, making it harder for them to visually track objects or stay engaged in conversations. These changes happen because dementia can impair the brain's ability to process and interpret visual information. Recognizing these subtle shifts can be an important step in seeking early evaluation and support. Prevention strategies. Now that we've explored the warning signs, let's shift gears to prevention. Here's the great news. Protecting your brain is easier than you might think. A few simple lifestyle changes can make a big difference. First, get moving. Regular exercise, like a 30-minute daily walk, improves blood flow to the brain and keeps it healthy. Next, fuel your body with a Mediterranean diet rich in fish, olive oil, whole grains, and plenty of colorful veggies. Keep your mind sharp by staying mentally active. Try puzzles, strategy games, or pick up a new skill. It's like a workout for your brain. Don't forget to stay socially connected. Spending time with friends and family can help maintain cognitive health. Prioritize sleep, aiming for 7 to 8 hours a night. Good rest allows your brain to clear out toxins and recharge. And of course, ditch harmful habits like smoking and excessive alcohol. Take care of your heart, too, by managing blood pressure and cholesterol. If you've noticed any signs of dementia in yourself or a loved one, don't brush them off. Early intervention can make a world of difference. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, recognizing the early signs of dementia is vital for better outcomes. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more insights on brain health. Together, we can make a positive impact. See you next time. Check out our other videos on the screen now for more tips on mental health, cognitive well-being, and dementia awareness.